Information is key. Knowledge is power. There are many scholarship opportunities out there that people are unaware of, and as a result, they miss that chance. I do not want you to be one of those. And that is why in today's video, I'm going to introduce you to another important scholarship, very great, fully funded. It covers your full expenses, including your tuition and your living expenses. And this scholarship is from the University of Southampton. If you have a bachelor's degree and you graduated with at least a 2-1, you can get a combined scholarship of master's and PhD. But if you already have a master's degree, you can get a fully funded scholarship for PhD studies at the University of Southampton. And I want to present these opportunities to you, but not just tell you about it, but show you step-by-step guide on how to secure this scholarship. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Brendo. I'm a PhD student and I receive full funding for my program. I even got two, even though I was not the typical best. And that helped me to see that you do not always have to be the best, but you have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate in your application process. And if you are these two things, then you can apply to scholarship and you secure full funded scholarship. Now, I know many persons are discouraged because it's already 2025 and you've been applying to many scholarships. Please do not give up. Try and watch this video to the end. If you have questions, you can ask in the comment section and I'll be fast to respond to you. If you want a tailored guidance or one-to-one session with me would also be great. The link would also be in the description. Now let's dive right in to the video. Here we have the South Coast Doctoral Training Partnership Social Science PhD Studentship. However, before talking about this scholarship in detail and how to apply to this scholarship, I want to show you this other one I found. And if you're interested, you can apply to this or you can share it to anyone who is interested. It's the Southampton Education Civic Scholarship, and it's 100% tuition fee scholarship for a part-time 2-year Masters in Education online program starting in 2026. The deadline is 17th of July 2026 for anyone who is interested. So I might also leave a link in the description to this scholarship. Now let's focus on the main one, which is the XCDTP PhD studentship. Now it covers, like I said, it provides up to 20,000 tax-free for research and practice placement. It also covers your tuition fees and also covers your living allowance, which is available for this program. Now there are four different pathways or four different awards. Now you can get a 1-year master's degree and a 3.5 years PhD program. You could get a 3.5 years PhD program, a 4.5 years interdisciplinary award, which is combined, and then a 4.5 years integrated PhD in these three different fields. For you to be eligible in this program, remember the deadline for this is Friday, 16th January 2026. Friday, 16th January 2026. So there's still time for this. For you to be eligible for this scholarship, you must have an offer for a master's degree or PhD in one of the following pathways. Now, these are the different pathways. You have education, you have psychology, you have social policy. And I think it's important for me to demonstrate something here. So if you want to apply, if you only have a bachelor's degree and you want to combine master's and PhD, the first thing you need to do is to apply to the master's degree and apply for a master's degree program, get the admission before you do anything else. So let's say we want to apply for psychology. So just simply scroll up, click on Thought Postgraduate Study, and that should bring you here, Postgraduate Thought Study. And we're going to type psychology. I've done that before. We're going to type psychology, and on psychology, that should bring you, of course, you find different ones. You find different psychology field. It's just taking so much time loading. But evidently, when you click on psychology, which is this one, MSc Psychology, you need a you need 2-1 for your undergraduate. If you click on that, it brings you here and then you could read up on it, what it involves and everything, and then simply click on apply for this course. So apply for it and then get your offer. Once you receive your offer for this program, you would need that in your application. Okay. All right. So the eligibility, remember, you need to have an offer ready for the master's degree or PhD. Okay. Now, this is another part that mentions that for the scholarship is also open to international students. So if you're an international student, you can apply. There are 3 stages to apply to this scholarship. The first one is to find a potential supervisor. And I have on my list here, so this is my channel. If you come to my channel and go to playlist, if you click on scholarship document playlist, you find different videos. And one of it is on how to contact emailing potential supervisor. and how to write an award-winning research proposal. So please watch these two videos. They are really, really handy and helpful. Okay, now coming back to this, you need to find a potential PhD supervisor, and I'll show you how to do that, and then create your own PhD proposal. I would also show you a guide on how to write a PhD proposal. Now, contacting a potential PhD supervisor, I'm going to leave a link in the description. So to find the supervisor, there is a link here. I will leave it in the description. So just come here and type the keyword, depending on your field or area of interest. So let's say we type engineering and we click search. Now that should bring us to this result. And you would often see it says here accepting applications from PhD student, accepting application from PhD student. Now let's go with Dr. Rahul, and then if we go with that, you see his research interest. So if his research interest aligns with yours, great stuff. But before contacting him, please read some more about him. More importantly, read about his recent work, his recent publications, and see if your research interest aligns. But more importantly, you also need to make reference to this if you are going to contact him via email. Very cool and very important. You can also see other research he's interested in and some award or funding he has received, just so you know. So that is one way to get info about a supervisor. And you can find others in your field. You can do the same for education. Just type that and you can do that. Before contacting a supervisor, this is a guide from the university to tell them about your research interests, what to do, keep it short to the point, and write the person's title. And I think this is the main reason I'm showing you this. So in contacting the supervisor, please use this person's title just the same way. For example, for Dr. Rahul, we found there is written as Dr. Rahul Tare. So if you're going to contact him, please use Doctor. If it's Professor, please use Professor, Mr. or Mrs. Please use the appropriate title. You don't want to use Doctor for a professor, please. All right. That is about that. So we'll now go back to this. So contact a PhD supervisor and create your own PhD proposal. So you should have your own proposal. A good guide on research proposal would look for something in your field, read one or two or three recent materials in your field. And when you do that, something else to keep in mind is just look at the recommendation for further studies or look at the limitations of the study in any of those material. And then from there, you find the existing gap, which you can then focus on in your PhD research. If you need a one-to-one guide on that, please book a meeting and I'll show you how to do that or how to find the gap. I am really happy to help you with that. Okay, then after you write your research proposal, make sure it follows the guide. So this is the guide from the University of Southampton. I always prefer following the structure from the particular university. So this is more like what the research proposal should cover, should be clear, objective, and realistic. But how to structure your proposal, please, you should follow this example structure. I don't think they're rigid about this, but please, it's advisable to just follow the structure. Your introductory statement, your background, your research question, your data sources or methodology, your conclusion on how the project will contribute to the field, and then your references here called bibliography. So just use bibliography. And then you can attach this when contacting a supervisor. Okay, so then if you have your supervisor and the supervisor approves, and then you have your proposal, which you should have before contacting the supervisor, then you apply for the chosen program. You apply for the chosen program here. And when you do that, remember this is if you're applying for PhD direct, but if you're going through masters, it's different. Then apply for the South Coast Doctoral Training Partnership. Now, this one, there is a different link for this one, which means the application is separate for this. If you do not know how to do this, please contact me, or you can simply send an email to this asking for more questions. Send them an email asking for clarification. Okay, so like I said, for this one, there is a different link. So if you click on that link, it brings you here. The deadline again is 16th of January 2026. And this is where you need an application form that must be submitted with the SATCO's DTP for studentship. And please remember the form has to be attached in your application. If you need a step-by-step guide on that, please let me know. If you also want to write a research proposal, I'm going to attach a link in the description on a PhD proposal outline, what should be covered in each one using a particular example. You'll find that really helpful. So there you have it, guys. That's another amazing scholarship from the University of Southampton, and I think you have a high chance of applying to this scholarship. If you want a one-to-one guidance, please remember to book a one-to-one section. And if you find this video informative, please share it with your friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'd always stay updated. If you're interested in scholarships like this, then there is another video here where I talked about a similar scholarship that is very cool. So try and check it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.